Here's one thing I've learned by being a psychologist. Psychology itself has not been all that big on the virtues at all. Psychology, I have found, and I didn't even know this when I was getting an undergraduate degree and a graduate degree and going through the 10-year process, it focuses so much on technique. For example, one of the founding pioneers of psychology would be Sigmund Freud and psychoanalysis. And his idea for improvement is to make that which is unconscious conscious. That's a big, big part. I'm not stereotyping all of psychoanalysis with this because there's much, much more to it than that. But that's one kind of big issue, to make that which is unconscious conscious. Well, once I become conscious of how angry I am, and you heard Sylvester's story, what do you do with that? But psychology went so far as to simply get my conscious awareness there, and that's supposed to be healing. Right? And I don't think that goes far enough. Another example is B.F. Skinner's behaviorism. If we're having problems, we should look for different ways of being reinforced, or look for different models to imitate. But that's really just simply being tossed and turned by the waves of reinforcement and punishment. What about once you are conscious, for example, of how angry you are because of how you've been mistreated, applying the virtues of agape love and forgiveness? That actually has been pretty much missed within psychology. There has been a gaping hole within psychology, and I was never aware of it until I started studying forgiveness. And so even though psychology has been around since about 1892, we're just beginning to discover the importance of these virtues. So we're really in pioneering territory in an area of science called psychology that somehow has missed out for the most part. So you and I are onto something quite new, because if I wanted to add to making that which is unconscious conscious, I would say once I realize that, and I realize how fuming I am with my uncle, I now have a new response of the heart that literally could heal me of my resentment. And consciousness itself isn't necessarily going to do that. So I want us to go with a pioneering spirit, knowing that you and I have a story that is beginning to be written, but it's not finished. And I want you to be part of the story. And I want you to help move it along so that this becomes a more natural part of psychology, a more natural part of just simply family interactions, a more natural part of what happens in prisons, right? And in building homes for people. I would like you to be on this journey with me. Start, support, and sustain.